This is something I sometimes overlook myself. It's flirting. Know how to flirt. And I discovered this just recently because I was telling a friend, his game was off. And I was like, dude, I'm sure there's videos online of how to flirt. And there's this girl, what's her name? Coco Chanel. And she does a video on how to flirt. Look stuff up like that if you're not a very flirtatious person.
We'll actually put the link down in the description box. It was actually a pretty good video.
And she has a few videos on it too. So you could just literally like click play, clean your bedroom, and like have an hour and a half's worth of footage.
I feel like, especially now with so much of dating has become via text or via, dating apps, there's something to be said about being with someone in person and like proper flirting.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, don't treat them like a friend. If you don't know what flirting is, it's definitely what it is not is acting like that person you're trying to get at is a friend to you. You could tease them, joke with them a little bit. Also, like know how to touch them too. Don't just
not like Donald Trump touch, like proper.
Oh, you're talking about No, but I mean like putting your hand on them when you're talking to them and stuff like that. Hugging, but not like. And once again, find like the balance of hugging that actually is normal. Don't be that guy who's like the gay BFF where you're like, oh, my girl. Like, know what's something good. And obviously, on this opposite end of the spectrum, don't like slap her on the back or whatever.
It's not a bro hug.
So, yeah, just touch her, learn how to get close and stuff like that. I was really good at it when I used to drink a bunch. And then, so here's the funny thing. I was good at it when I would drink. You have no inhibitions. You come up, you touch them like when you're talking to them and stuff and just get all up in their area. And I was good. Then I stopped drinking and tried to flirt in like regular public. And I would do stuff where like if you're too distant and you're trying to touch them and stuff and they're just like, it's so awkward. It is so, I would get these looks where they're like, where the fuck are you touching? Like, it was just so not called for.
Yeah, like I feel like it's, you start out, if you're sitting next to the person, like sliding, like touching their shoulder, touching their arm, try to keep it like, these appendages, nothing lower.
Massaging too, like without being like, but like if they're doing something that's calling for a massage and you do it in like a non-sexual way.
Yeah, like not in a friend way, but not in a sexual way. Mm-hmm. I think that's the fine line with flirting is that you want to still get to know them and you still want to build a good rapport like you would with a friend, but then also show your intention that you're interested in them romantically, physically, sexually. And that's kind of where you have to find that middle ground, which comes with, girls, we like being touched. That sounds really weird.
Don't egg them on.
Not like that. But like if I'm talking to a guy and I'm flirting with him, I will for sure, like if I like him, I'll touch him on the arm, on the shoulder, whatever, just to be like this. I'm seeing you as more than just a friend.
I remember a girl, she had her legs crossed at a bar and she was kind of rubbing it up against, like her foot up against me. Not too much, not like kicking the shoe off and rubbing it in the crotch region, but like she was definitely showing some interest. Yeah,
definitely. And then like slowly later on with permission, not like you don't have to have like actual verbal permission, but you should be able to get a vibe. And that's
feel out the vibe, and like if there's just nothing there, don't look at that as your first initial step in getting through the friend zone. Like if there's nothing calling for it and you're like, I think I'm gonna touch her, that might be like the third or fourth step or something like that where you're like, all right, I did A, B, and C. That calls for this. Yeah,
and it's, their hair. It's a very, very easy little thing.
Yeah, I like to do this. I'm sorry, go on.
Of course. But, like a small caress or whatever always kind of works if you're a little bit scared to touch them on their body at first.
So where or how should they... Uh-oh, it's starting. Starting.
It's not me this time.
You're making me nervous, so it's technically your fault. So, like, where or how should they caress you?
Caress sometimes seems a little creepy, so, but we'll go with that word. Slowly, if you're talking to someone, unfortunately your hand's right here, but like, if you're talking to someone,
Did you say unfortunately?
No, I mean, like, cause I wanted to show them, but like your hand was down here, so if I did it, you couldn't see it.
Okay, so
like, if you're talking to someone and like you start holding their hand or whatever, that's always a very like...
That's a bold move.
But if they're receptive or they start kind of slowly caressing you back, that's always a really, really good sign. If you want to do something a little bit easier at first, the hair thing. So like if she's talking and her hair is in her eye like mine is right now, just like taking slowly, like moving her hair out of her face.
What about lower back? How do you feel about that? Pushing, like kind of walking her through the door and touching the lower back.
Lower back may or may not work depending on the situation. If you guys are standing at a bar and she's in front of you, putting your hand just slowly on her back, if she's receptive to it, she'll stay there. If she's not, she'll either wiggle away or kind of give you like a...
I've done that a couple times. It's not too common, but some girls will... This is what I would do if anybody kind of put their hand on my lower back. She was like, ooh. You know, like kind of... She wasn't that extreme. I'm exaggerating it for the camera, but basically just like, get your fucking hand off of my back.
Yeah, if it's that, then clearly she's not interested. But
that's like a dead giveaway. Like, it's almost... You might as well give up at that point.
Pretty much.
It's not going to work unless you got some magic in all other areas. Like, it's... You basically failed the touch test, so...
Yeah. Very easy if she's sitting next to you or across from you. Most of the times girls like to cross their legs. If her legs are crossed towards you, which is always...
That really is a thing. I've heard that. I've seen it sometimes.
Yeah, nonverbal communication.
But sometimes I feel like it's a coincidence. So know when it's that.
Yeah, know when it's that. But if she's doing that and then her leg ends up touching you, which you can't see.
Ooh, she's doing it to me right now.
But if she's touching you and it stays there and it's not just like, oops, and then you move your leg, it stays there. Then you could be like, okay, then it's kind of a nice segue into something else.
And make sure she's touching you with like skin, something she can feel. I've had some women like touching me with like something like a shoe or whatever that they don't, and I'm like, ooh.
And they thought it was like the pole of the table.
Or whatever, or she just doesn't feel me at all. And I'm like, ooh, she's touching me. And I'll look down and I'll be like, oh, damn it. Like that's not a sign. If she happens to be touching you with like that, or it's like her purse or whatever, and you're kind of like,
purses don't count.
Or yeah, that's like minimum of 4 inches of space between you, and there's no sensation that they get by touching you with the purse.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, I think those are kind of little things to start out with, and if you see none of those signs, or if they're not receptive to any of them,